I'm audible. Good evening, everyone. Okay, look at the screen. आराम से देखना. Guys, in the last sessions, okay, we had started with the world history, and in the first session, when we were looking at the first session, guys, in the first session we had started with the syllabus. थोड़ा सा हमने देखा था syllabus की ओर, and in that we saw that we will be covering topics such as industrial revolution will be there, American Revolution, American Civil War, unification of Germany, unification of Italy, and world wars या फिर Chinese Revolution or Russian Revolution. After covering that, guys, we had started with our second session, and in the first session only we were looking at the Greek civilization. After that, we looked at the great Roman Empire. Apart from that, we had looked at the Dark Age in Europe, and we saw that this was the age of the faith rather than the age of the reason. Apart from that, जैसे ये cover हो गया था, we had then looked at the Roman Catholic Church as well, plus we had looked at the evils of the church. And in the last session, guys, we had started with the feudalism. And हमने देखा था यहाँ पे कि that it was a political and the administrative system in the Middle Ages where the land was exchanged for the military and the loyalty. So after that, when we covered this feudalism, guys, then we had started with the Renaissance, and then we had looked at the Enlightenment as well. Plus, in the last session, guys, we had started with the Great Industrial Revolution. And when we were looking at the Industrial Revolution, हमने यहाँ पे देखा था कि that it started from the England and then it spread out to the other parts of the Europe as well as to the United States of America. And if we look at the Industrial Revolution, तो यहाँ पे एक transition हो रहा था from the handmade production towards the machine-made production. Okay, new manufacturing processes came out, new techniques emerged. Apart from that, we also saw that there was a transition. वो transition क्या था? Going from feudal agrarian economies to capitalist industrialized systems. Apart from that, guys, we saw this industrial revolution was driven by the advancement in technology and industry. Apart from that, जैसे ये cover हो गया था, then we had started with the reasons or the causes for the industrial revolution. And the first जो हमने यहाँ पे देखा था, it was geopolitical या political कहो, and in that first we saw the fall of the Constantinople, the present day Istanbul, and with that we saw कि कैसे European countries जो है they started looking for new markets, new discoveries हो रही थी, and over the period of time that led to the discovery of new markets. जैसे markets discover हुए, we got to know that trade and commerce enhanced, and over the period of time that led to the rise in the industries, and over the period of time industrial revolution हमें देखने को मिला. Second, we saw there were political rivalries, okay, the hunger to become the superpower. Apart from that, जैसे ये cover हो गया था, guys, we had looked at the scientific reasons as well. The new inventions during this time, 17th or 18th century, in the form of James Watt's steam engine, okay. Now, for example, we looked at the John Case flying shuttle. Now, for example, the power loom, okay, which hugely benefited our textile sector at that point of time. With these innovations, okay, तो आपका यहाँ पे एक industrial revolution देखने को मिला था. Apart from that, we had looked at the economic reasons as well, guys. We saw कि कैसे यहाँ पे एक kind of age of liberalism was there. Free market economy का promotion हो रहा है, world trade enhanced. Over the period of time, private players जो है वो भी उभर के आए थे. When we had covered this, after that we looked at this particular thing, that why England became the epicenter of the revolution. Okay, and in that, guys, when we were looking at this scenario, we saw कि जो England है यहाँ पे एक तो stable polity था. All over the world at that point of time, be it the later half of the 18th century या फिर 17th century, 18th century की बात कर रहे हैं. Okay, throughout the world, people were going through civil wars, या countries were going through civil wars. In America, we were having American War of Independence. In France, we were having French Revolution, and at other parts of the world, they were indulged in wars. And when we look at the Britain at that point of time, a completely political, stable environment tha. Peace and calm was prevailing. Not just that, इनका जो banking activity था, that was flourishing. Apart from that, we get to know that they had huge labor, they had huge wealth, as well as natural resources in the form of coal and iron were present in abundance. And apart from that, enclosure movement also helped or benefited England. So England led from the front when it comes to the industrial revolution. And after that, we will see it is going to be this industrial revolution, okay, which is going to help these Britain or this England to dominate the world for the coming next 100 years. Okay, so guys, last वाले session तक हम ये तो cover कर लिया था. Now in this session, guys, we have to look at the impact of the industrial revolution. First, we will be looking at the political impact. जैसे ये cover हो जाता है political impact क्या है, we will move towards the political movements, as well as we will look at the social impact, plus we will be looking at the economic impact. Apart from that, we will also see, we will be also looking at what was the impact of industrial revolution on India as well. Okay, तो आज हम नए heading के साथ जा रहे हैं. आप heading दे दीजिए impact of industrial revolution. Impact of industrial revolution. Impact of industrial revolution. Okay. Okay. Look here, guys. When we look at the impact or when we evaluate the industrial revolution, let's look at the political impact first. Okay. Anyone कोई आप में से कहेगा, what do you think क्या impact हो सकता है politically? हाँ, what was stable? No. Okay, the first thing, okay, the rise of the British Empire. Pehla point, what was the political impact of the industrial revolution? It is going to be the rise of the British Empire. Rise of British Empire. The rise of British Empire. And guys, it is going to be this industrial revolution, okay, which is going to help Britain to dominate the world for the coming next years or for the next 100 years. Side mein likho, it was this industrial revolution which helped Britain to dominate, world for next 100 years. Dominate the world. ठीक है? Now guys, this was the first political impact of the industrial revolution. Let's look at the second political impact of the industrial revolution, and I would like to go with the growth of liberalism. Liberalism means it's a kind of philosophy where you will see कि equality पे ध्यान दिया जाता है, individual liberty, free market economies, minimum government intervention. Okay, so at that point of time we can see industrial revolution also led to the growth of liberalism. Write down this second one. Second impact, growth of liberalism. यहां पे please mention it. Pre-market economies, started emerging. जब फ्री मार्केट इकोनॉमी हो रही है, दैट मींस अब यहां पे कैपिटलिज्म का कॉन्सेप्ट आ रहा है, कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमीज आ रही है, एंड विद दैट व्हाट वी आर सीइंग एक मिनिमल गवर्नमेंट इंटरफेरेंस रहेगा. ठीक है, वन इज प्राइवेट सेक्टर, द अनदर वन इज पब्लिक सेक्टर. अगर प्राइवेट सेक्टर की बात करूं दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम you can go with the capitalist society or capitalist economy. That means there are going to be the private players. जैसे यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका है, वहां पे क्या है, प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स, प्राइवेट लोगों या इंडिविजुअल्स की प्रॉपर्टी है. व्हेन इट कम्स टू द पब्लिक सेक्टर, दैट मींस वहां पे जो मैक्सिमम स्टेक होगा वो गवर्नमेंट का होता है. नाउ विद दिस वी आर सीइंग, जब मैं यहां पे देख रहा हूं, growth of liberalism, free market economy started emerging. That means अब यहां पे we will see minimum, we are going to witness minimum government intervention, minimum government intervention. ठीक है? Okay, so guys, these were the two political impacts of the industrial revolution. Look here guys, when we look at the world map at that point of time, remember that guys, okay, पहले पहले अगर हम देखें, it was solely England या फिर उससे पहले it was Spain and the Portugal who were dominating the world economies. But over the period of time, अब यहां पे जब यूनिफिकेशन ऑफ जर्मनी हो रहा है, ठीक है, 1870s की बात हो रही है, द रोल ऑफ द ऑटोमन बिस्मार्क, यूनिफिकेशन ऑफ इटली भी हो रहा है, ठीक है, एंड विद द राइज ऑफ द जापान और विद द राइज ऑफ द रशिया, वी विल सी इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन की वजह से ही यू विल विटनेस जियोपॉलिटिकल राइवलरीज विल बी देयर. With the rise of the industries, okay, with this industrial revolution, we will see there are going to be the geopolitical rivalries, and in those, okay, and in that what we will see, England is going to conflict with the interests of the Russia or interests of the Germany, and ultimately that led to the world wars. So वो भी एक impact था किसका, industrial revolution का. अब third one लिखो, third impact was geopolitical rivalries. Geopolitical, that is the third impact. Geopolitical rivalries. Geopolitical rivalries. Okay, and in this please mention about England or Britain conflicted with Russia and Germany. Because we will see, be it Great Britain, be it Russia, be it Germany, be it Italy, okay, they will start hunting for more and more colonies. So over the period of time, अब जब colonies के लिए hunt हो रहा है, we will witness the great world wars which were deadly for the entire human history. Okay, so यहाँ पे आप लिख सकते हो which resulted in, ऐसे ही जैसे हम लिख रहे हैं ना, you go with these flow charts, resulted in world wars, resulted in world wars. Okay, because they conflicted for raw material, they conflicted for colonies, to hunt more and more colonies, and over the period of time what is going to happen यहाँ पे, which led to the world wars. Now guys, हाँ, very good, वो positive impact है, growth of liberalism. But when you look at this one, world wars, this is the negative impact. ठीक है, this is the negative impact. Very good. जैसे rise of British Empire, for them it is positive, we don't have any issue. But this is the negative impact of the industrial revolution. Politically it is negative impact. Like for example, we can go with the colonial ruin. ठीक है, क्योंकि more and more colonies were exploited, but impact है, that can be counted as negative impact of industrial revolution. Write down the fourth one. Fourth one, colonial ruin. Okay, colonial ruin. Colonial ruin है, so we can go with this this is minus, that means this is the negative impact of industrial revolution. Simple. That means when we look at the industrial revolutions, guys, colonies were badly exploited. For example, colony like India was badly exploited by the Britain. And it is being said that over the period of time, Britain had looted around $45 trillion of India's economy. $45 trillion of Indian economy over the period of time. So please remember this. Write down over here. Arrow के form में लिखो. Colonies such as India were badly or hugely, heavily or hugely exploited. Okay, so this is the negative impact, or this is the impact of the, anyone guys? This is the impact of the Industrial Revolution. Here we were looking at the political impact. What was the first one? The rise of the British Empire. British में जो progress हुआ over the period of time, development हुआ, it is because of this Industrial Revolution. Second one, geopolitical rivalries were there. Okay, third one, if I see over here, you could have gone with this colonial ruin as well, या फिर growth of liberalism. Now, when we have looked at this one, guys, it is being said that during this time, जब ये सब सिनेरियो हम देख ही रहे हैं, इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन जब अपने ठीक है पीक पे था, we will see there is going to be the rise of the political movements as well. And at that point of time, it is going to be the great German scholar, okay, and जिनका नाम था Karl Marx, okay, and he is going to come with the Das Kapital, and he will be coming with the Communist Manifesto, and we will see, okay, he is going to advocate against the capitalism or the capitalist economy. He advocated for equal distribution of resources. Now, one more heading, political movements. Let's go with the political movements. Good evening guys. Online. हाँ, political segment के just नीचे political movements. Okay, let's look at the famous political movement. The first one, guys, let's go with the Marxism. Marxism, ठीक है, ठीक है. And when we look at the Marxism, guys, it is a kind of ideology, okay, जिसके propounder थे Karl Marx. Okay, so Marxism, ठीक है, किनकी teachings पे based है? Karl Marx. And when we look at the Karl Marx, guys, he was a German man. And Karl Marx का, if I look at the time period, 1820 to 1880 AD तक. Okay, and when we look at the Karl Marx, one more thing, guys, that you need to remember, he was a prominent figure during this time. Prominent figure. Karl Marx के दो works बहुत ही important है. ठीक है, first it is going to be the Das Kapital, second it is going to be the Communist Manifesto. Write down two important works. Anyone? Das Kapital. Anyone else? It is going to be the Communist Manifesto. Okay. And guys, when we look at the Das Kapital, which was the work of the Karl Marx, okay, here he advocated against the capitalist economy. Okay, and इन्होंने ये कहा था कि at the end जो capitalists है वो working classes के लिए unfair है. And when we look at the Communist Manifesto, in that he advocated for the equal distribution of resources. जो आपको आज के समय में country या throughout the world एक unequal distribution of resources देखने को मिलता है. अमीर और अमीर होते जा रहा है, rich gets richer and the poorer becomes poorer over the period of time. ठीक है, ऑक्सफैम रिपोर्ट या बहुत सारे रिपोर्ट्स आए दिन आते रहते हैं. ठीक है, सो we will see, अगर मैं देखूं उस समय पे भी it was the Karl Marx who was advocating for the equal distribution of resources. Okay, write down ऐसे arrow के form में लिखो. In Das Kapital, he advocated against capitalism, advocated against capitalism, profit driven. And when we look at the Communist Manifesto, he advocated for equal, anyone? Equal distribution of, very good, equal distribution of resources. Done? Now, one more thing. Political movements mein guys, what we are witnessing, okay, when this industrial revolution was going on, we will see the formation of trade unionism. You might have seen बहुत सारी movies में भी 1970s, 1980s की मिल में बहुत सारे लोग काम किया करते थे, उनका एक लीडर हुआ करता था, ठीक है, देखा होगा I guess, है ना? So similarly we will see जो ट्रेड यूनियनिज्म है दे स्टार्टेड इमर्जिंग. और ये ट्रेड यूनियनिज्म किस लिए आया? दे केम और दे स्टार्टेड टू प्रोटेक्ट द राइट्स ऑफ द वर्कर्स. राइट डाउन सेकंड वन, पॉलिटिकल मूवमेंट में राइट डाउन सेकंड वन, राइट डाउन सेकंड वन. ओके, ट्रेड यूनियनिज्म, ट्रेड यूनियनिज्म, emergence of trade unionism, okay, so trade unionism emerged for the protection of the rights of the workers. trade unionism जो है वो emerge हुआ किस लिए? to protect जो वर्कर्स थे उनके राइट्स को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए. मान लो कोई फैक्ट्री में आप काम कर रहे हो, वर्किंग इन सम फैक्ट्री, और वहां पे 8 घंटे काम नहीं करवा रहे हैं, 16, 17, 18 घंटे काम करवा रहे हैं. कोई तो होना चाहिए जो आपकी बात को आगे रखे. वेजेस काफी कम दे रहे हैं, सैलरी काफी कम दे रहे हैं. देयर मस्ट बी समवन, ओके, देयर मस्ट बी सम काइंड ऑफ association. So for that we are seeing trade unionisms, जो ये associations थी, they started emerging for the protection of rights of workers. ये लिखो, they worked to protect the rights of workers. Okay, जरा फटाफट से बता दो, because when you will be writing your mains at that point of time, you will not be able to remember all of these points. मोटे मोटे जरा 2-3 points बता दो. What is going to be the political impact of the industrial revolution? Anyone? First one. Very good. The rise of British Empire. Second. Very good. Free market economies, geopolitical rivalries, political movements में Marxism, trade unionism. Okay, so this we have covered. Let's move forward. Let's look at the social impact of the industrial revolution. Okay, let's go with this social impact of the industrial revolution. Social impact of the industrial revolution. Heading दे दीजिए. Okay, what do you think guys? What can be the social impact of the social impact? क्या हो सकता है industrial revolution? हाँ हाँ, very good. Very good. हाँ, anyone else? What do you think? Social impact क्या हो सकता है? Okay, the first thing that I would like to tell you, let's go with the urbanization. But urbanization is a kind of positive impact. Okay, write down first social impact, urbanization. urbanization. Okay. So when we look at the urbanization, guys, that means here we are witnessing the migration. क्या हो रहा है? Migration. Migration कहाँ से कहाँ की ओर होगा? Anyone? Rural to urban areas. Why? Job opportunities because of the industries. Because of the industries and the job opportunities. Very good. So write down migration. जैसे मैं लिख रहा हूँ ना, you write it like that. Okay. So it will be good for you when you will be going with the mains examination. Urbanization, migration हो रहा है rural to urban areas because of industries. ठीक है. साथ साथ में guys, when we are looking at this one, we are seeing immigration. Immigration at large scale. People are flooding cities. People are flooding the industrialized areas. Okay. So second, social impact, what we are writing, guys? It is going to be the, anyone? Immigration. Write down third one. Okay. Apart from that, guys, third impact, let's go with the child labor. Anyone? What do you think about child labor? Positive or negative impact? Negative impact. Okay. So child labor was also seen. Apart from that, fourth social impact of the industrial revolution, we can go with the poor living conditions. Okay. Poor wages, less wages, या poor working condition में we can go with that. Plus we can go with the slavery. Okay. Write down fourth one. Okay. Anyone? एक last time when I was here ना, मैं एक ऐसे करता था, पूरा ये रब हो जाता था. Anyone? कौन सा दबाऊं? This one? This? हाँ कहाँ पे? हाँ. Eraser? Okay. हाँ. Come here. एक से ना जाओ. हाँ. This one? Okay. बट ये तो दूसरे पेज पे गया मैं. जैसे for example, I was over here. Look here. ये तो पूरा गया. Full. Will go full, sir. हाँ. If you have written anything in the pages, page clear all. Page भी गया. No, not page only. Only whatever you have written. That okay. Will go full. But ये तो वो भी गया. बनना ना जैसे वो स्लाइड थी. हाँ. अपना हैंड यूज करेंगे ना, ये आ जाएगा. थोड़ा लार्ज साइज में. अच्छा ठीक. चलो. तो सोशल वो गया. जो वहां पे स्लाइड था वो भी गया. Okay. Now write down the fourth one, guys. Okay. Let's go with the poor working conditions. Social impact में हम लिख रहे हैं. We are writing in social impact. Let's go with the, anyone? Poor working conditions. When we look at the poor working conditions, okay, one thing that you need to remember, okay, in poor working conditions, first thing we are seeing, एक तो सबसे पहले less wages were given, salary बहुत कम थी. Apart from that, what we are seeing, जो working hours है ना, they were, अगर मैं देखूं, more than 15 hours, one had to work for more than 15 hours, okay, working hours. Greater than 15 hours. Not just, yes? Even that was there, okay? One more thing we can see, poor working conditions में sanitation problems were there. Sanitation problems. And guys, you will witness one of the worst conditions were seen in the Russia. एंड एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वी आर विटनेसिंग बहुत सारे जो लोग लाए जाते थे 10 बाय 10 के रूम में ना 6 6 बंदे या 7 7 या 8 8 बंदों को बिठाया जाता था एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम दोज पीपल रिवोल्टेड ओके बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सफोकेशन ओके बिकॉज ऑफ द क्या कहते हैं उसे डेंसिटी नाउ सोशल इंपैक्ट नाउ राइट डाउन वन मोर व्हेन वी आर लुकिंग एट दिस वन लेट्स गो विद दिस स्लेवरी ओके राइट डाउन वन मोर स्लेवरी स्लेवरी ये भी आपका सोशल इंपैक्ट ही है स्लेवरी ओके नाउ विद दिस आई वुड लाइक टू टेल यू दैट कि गाइस बहुत सारे जो स्लेव्स थे वो लाए जा रहे थे अफ्रीका से या फिर अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ठीक है और उन स्लेव्स के साथ क्या किया जाता था फॉर एग्जांपल अगर अमेरिका में लाया जाएगा प्लांटेशन या एग्रीकल्चर के काम में उनको लगा दिया जाता था सो सिमिलरली व्हेन वी लुक एट द इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन ड्यू टू लेबर शॉर्टेज okay most of the people were forced into this slavery and slaves were brought from the Africa or from the other parts of the world and they were being employed okay ये लिखो slavery was rampant slaves were brought from Africa slaves were brought from Africa and other parts of the world and other parts of the world and other parts of the world and were exploited so we will see यूरोप से भी slaves को लाया जाता था and they were being employed in the America okay and you will see in the American civil war slavery is going to be the main issue between the northern states and the southern states so बहुत सारे लोगों को by force लाया जाता था और उन्हें काम कराया जाता था not just that guys we are seeing अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें with this over the period of time over क्राउडिंग भी हमें बहुत ही बड़े लेवल पे देखने को मिलता है क्योंकि स्लम्स ओके लिखो एमरजेंस ऑफ स्लम्स होता है ना स्लम एरिया हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट दैट स्लम एरिया वगैरह जहां पे ओवर क्राउडिंग होती है एक और पॉइंट लिखो वन मोर ऐड कर लो एमरजेंस ऑफ स्लम्स okay now guys when we have looked at this one let's move forward let's look at the economic impact of the industrial revolution heading दे दीजिए economic impact of the industrial revolution हाँ emergence of slums okay बस इतना लिखो होता है ना हाँ okay जैसे होता है ना slum area ठीक है हैव यू बीन टू मुंबई या फिर अदर एनी अदर प्लेस ठीक है तो जो स्लम एरिया होता है जहाँ पे बहुत सारा क्राउडिंग होता है बहुत सारे गरीब लोग रहते हैं ठीक है जो वर्किंग क्लास पॉपुलेशन थी एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम उनके पास बड़े बड़े घर तो थे नहीं दे वर लिविंग इन डेंस एरियाज छोटे छोटे गरीब एरियाओं में वो रहते थे ठीक है नाउ गाइस वन थिंग when we have looked at the political as well as social impact now let's look at the anyone economic impact okay heading दे दीजिए economic impact of industrial revolution okay first thing it is going to be the rise of capitalism free market economy done second thing when we look at the economic development of infrastructure चाहे वो ट्रांसपोर्ट हो या फिर फैक्ट्रीज हो डेवलपमेंट ऑफ infrastructure when I look at the development of infrastructure that means guys okay transport developed या transportation Transportation improved. That means roads and railways. Okay. One more thing, guys. Industrial revolution also led to huge economic growth with the mass production of goods. So economies जो है they started blooming. One more point. Huge economic growth. Huge economic growth was seen. For example, अब आपके माइंड में आ रहा होगा कि सर इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ कैसे हुआ. For example, you are running a factory and at that point of time आपके पास खाली 10 कस्टमर्स थे. अब आपके पास 1 लाख कस्टमर आया. Obviously you will invest in your infrastructure, machines आप बढ़ाएंगे and over the period of time आप ज्यादा पैसा बना सकते हैं. Similarly यहाँ पे भी इकोनॉमीज के साथ भी हुआ और कंट्रीज के साथ भी हुआ. Now when we have looked at this one, guys, so kindly remember this. जरा दो impact बता दो. If they ask you tomorrow what is the impact of the industrial revolution, political में 2 बता दो. Anyone? Rise of British Empire. Second. Very good. Social में 2 बता दो. Social impact. Urbanization. Very good. Child labor, slavery was there, immigration was there. Okay. Economic में 2. Anyone? Very good. Great. Okay. Now when we have looked at this one, let's go with the technological impact. 2 और हम ऐड करेंगे यहाँ पे ताकि अच्छा खासा वहां पे फिर मार्क्स भी आ जाए. हेडिंग दे दो. Technological impact. Technological impact. Technological impact. Okay. Anyone? What do you think कि क्या टेक्नोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है? Very good. New scientific innovations. Very good. Machine tools. New scientific innovations such as steam engine. Very good. Power loom. Etc. Anyone else? New farming techniques. Okay. New manufacturing techniques. New methods of manufacturing emerged. New manufacturing methods. Like for example, when we see, okay, एक इंडिगो हमारे यहाँ हुआ करता था, ठीक है, जो कि एक प्लांट है. Indigo is a plant which we had to grow and from that we used to get the synthetic dye. Indigo एक प्लांट हुआ करता था यहाँ पे जिसे उगाने के बाद वहां से हम डाई निकालते थे और जो क्लोथ्स पे लगाया जाता था. When new manufacturing techniques came, जब नई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टेक्निक्स आ गई and with that अब हम केमिकली भी synthesize कर सकते हैं. We could synthesize indigo chemically. So over the period of time we are seeing that also improved. Okay. So new manufacturing techniques came. Tractor and all that. Very good. Okay. New machine tools were seen. New methods of manufacturing. Now let me see आप यहाँ पे क्या लिखेंगे with the environmental impact. Okay. Right. Let's go with the 5th heading. Environmental impact. Okay, let me see what you will add over here. Poor? Pollution? Very good. The first thing that I would like to go over here, pollution. Industry is high over the period of time. Pollution increase हुआ. Very good. Pollution. Second one. great exploitation of natural resources, I can go with the deforestation. Let's go with deforestation. One more environmental impact. Global warming. Huh? Very good. Exploitation of fossil fuels. So we can go with the greenhouse gases emission and all that, and that can contribute to the global warming. Emergence of greenhouse gases, है ना? जैसे कि we are having carbon dioxide. Okay. Environmental impact. So all of these impacts, guys, you have to write down at that point of time when you will be going with your mains examination. Okay. Everyone got it? Okay. Now look here. जब ये हम सिनेरियो देख रहे हैं, okay, अब थोड़ा सा हम कंक्लूजन लिखेंगे एंड आफ्टर दैट थोड़ा सा एक छोटा सा हम टॉपिक भी लिखेंगे, द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन ऑन इंडिया. ओके, पहले कंक्लूजन लिखो यहां पे. ओके, लुक हियर गाइस, जो इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन था, it had both positive impacts as well as negative impacts. Positive impact in the sense because जो machines था, machine made production था, it made our life easier. For example, you go to hostels, you go to some other place, ठीक है. आज के समय में you will be going through aeroplanes, ठीक है, or you can use buses, cars, है ना. So yeah, railways, it has made our life easier, but over the period of time, it has degraded our environment as well in the form of pollution, in the form of greenhouse gases, in the form of global warming, in the form of emergence of diseases. So it has both positive as well as negative impacts. देखो, the industrial revolution had both positive as well as negative effects. The industrial revolution had both positive as well as negative effects. Had both positive as well as negative effects. Okay, देखो, undoubtedly, तो दोनों effects है guys, positive as well as negative effects. Undoubtedly, it had made, undoubtedly, it has made, undoubtedly, it made our life easier. Undoubtedly, it made our life easier on earth through innovations, through innovations. Okay, लिखो one more. Also it had negative impacts. Also it had negative impacts such as environmental degradation, pollution, diseases, and it also led to the world wars, be it World War First or be it World War Second, for economic interests. Done? Okay. Now, maybe they might ask in your examination, what was the impact of industrial revolution on India? Okay. One more heading. Let's go with the extra gyan. Okay, one more heading, the impact of industrial revolution on India. Impact of industrial revolution on India. Okay. First thing that I would like to tell you guys, okay, it ruined our local industry. जो handicrafts थे या जो हमारी industries थी, it ruined that. Okay, right on. First point, destruction of, पहला point, destruction of traditional industries. Example, handicrafts. Because now machine made products are coming which are cheaper and which are finer in quality. Done. Second thing, when we are looking at the impact of industrial revolution on India, guys, okay, it increased British control on India because at that point of time हमारे end से एक तो raw material जा रहा है, raw material is going to England, and then there are industries, okay, वहां से finished products आ रहा है और हम market भी act कर रहे हैं. तो एक तो what we are doing, we are supplying raw materials and at the end we are consuming the same products. Okay, so over the period of time, what we will see, it increased the British control in India. Write down second one. It increased British control in India. Okay, apart from that, third अगर हम देखें यहाँ पे guys, over the period of time we will see जो Britishers है, they are going with the commercialization of agriculture. वो agriculture का commercialization करेंगे, जहां ज्यादा पैसा मिल रहा है, जहां ज्यादा प्रॉफिट मिल रहा है, वो उसकी पैदावार करेंगे. एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वी विल सी फूड सिक्योरिटी, फेमाइन्स जहां पे देखने को मिलेंगे, बिकॉज व्हेन ब्रिटिशर्स वर गोइंग विद द कमर्शियलाइजेशन ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर, ओके, उनके लिए कैश बेसिस पे जो हो रहा है टोबैको, ठीक है, व्हाई दे विल कल्टीवेट राइस एंड व्हीट, बिकॉज जो टोबैको है या फिर जो कॉफी है और अदर प्रोडक्ट्स, वहां पे ज्यादा पैसा आ सकता है. सो विद दैट वी विल सी फेमाइन्स या पॉवर्टी बहुत ज्यादा आ गई थी. ओके, राइट डाउन थर्ड वन, rise of poverty and famines. Rise of poverty and famines. Famines इसीलिए आ रहे हैं because जो food security थी that was not there. Okay, poverty because Britishers were serving their interests. Okay, not the welfare of the society. They did not look at the welfare of the people. One more thing, write down guys. Rise of Indian nationalism as well. Rise of Indian nationalism. Now you will be thinking, sir, how this industrial revolution led to the rise of Indian nationalism? How this industrial revolution, ठीक है, led to the rise of, anyone guys? Yes? Okay, very good. Because over the period of time, जितने भी लोग थे कंट्री के, they got to know about the true intentions of the Britishers, because Britishers were exploiting us. Peasants, laborers, soldiers, artisans, ठीक है, they all were affected, ठीक है, adversely. Almost all the sections of the society were adversely affected. And over the period of time, जब इनके साथ भी प्रॉब्लम है, उनके साथ भी, उनके साथ भी, उनके साथ भी, ठीक है, सबको लूटा गया है, they all came together, ठीक है, और उन्होंने कहा कि that we are looking for independence. So the industrial revolution also led to the growth of Indian nationalism. Okay, write down fourth one, the rise of Indian nationalism. Rise of Indian nationalism. Okay. In this you can write down, okay, write down the Indian people rose against exploitation and oppression. जो इंडियन थे, जो भारतीय थे, ओके, वो ब्रिटिशर्स के इस ऑपरेशन के अगेंस्ट खड़े हुए. द इंडियन पीपल रोज अगेंस्ट, इंडियन पीपल rose against British exploitation and oppression. British exploitation and oppression, etc. ठीक है, चलो इतने 4 पॉइंट्स आप याद रखिएगा. हाँ, you can write that as well. Okay. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी डेवलप हुआ था, ओके, बट उतने बड़े लेवल पे नहीं, बिकॉज वी विल सी 1940 तक भी, ओके, वी वेर गेटिंग जो रेल्स के लिए प्रोडक्ट्स थे, वी वेर इंपोर्टिंग दैट. ओके, इनका एक डेफिनेटली एक कुछ और ही मोटिव था. ओके, दे नेवर केम अप विद दैट इंटेंशन कि इंडियंस का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर जो है वो स्ट्रॉन्ग करे. ओके, हम मेयरली रॉ मटेरियल्स को सप्लाई कर रहे थे, एंड एट द एंड वी वेर कंज्यूमिंग द फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट्स. ओके, वो 3-4 आप अपने एंड से भी उस समय पे लिख सकते हो. नाउ गाइस, व्हेन वी हैव लुक्ड एट दिस वन, let's move forward with the American War of Independence, and then we have to look at the American Civil War. I hope at least you will be able to write now. For example, if they ask you tomorrow, what do you understand by the Industrial Revolution? What were the causes for the Industrial Revolution? Okay, and what were the reasons that led to the rise of industries? Apart from that, they might ask you what was the impact of the Industrial Revolution. Impact may you can go with the political, you can go with the social urbanization, है ना, slavery and all that. And with economy, you can go with the rise of capitalism, free market economy. ठीक है, you can go with the environment degradation and all that. So you will be able to write that. Now let's go with one more topic, guys. It is going to be the American Revolution. अब heading दे दो, American Revolution or American War of Independence. Okay, look here. First we will go with the story. आराम से सुनना, ठीक है, कि American Revolution था क्या. And they might ask you, what do you understand by the American Revolution? What were the causes of this American Revolution? Or what was the impact of this American Revolution? Okay, guys, when you are looking at the screen, let me show you the world map first. Okay. Can you see this over here? This is the United States of America. And when you look at the flag of this, you will see 13 stripes are there, as well as there are going to be the 50 stars. 50 stars are there for 50 states. And when you look at the 13 stripes, that means यहाँ पे 13 colony हुआ करती थी. 13 stripes are for 13 colonies. And when you look at the 50 stars, ठीक है, that means 50 states. This is the United States of America. ठीक है. And when we go back, आज से 400 साल पहले या 500 साल पहले एज सच अमेरिका वाज नॉट देयर. यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका जो है एज सच कोई कंट्री एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं कर रही थी. ठीक है, व्हेन वी लुक एट आवर कंट्री इंडिया, हमारा इतिहास तो बहुत पुराना है, एंड इंडिया इज अ काइंड ऑफ सिविलाइजेशन. ओके, बहुत ही पुरानी हिस्ट्री है. सो काइंडली रिमेंबर दिस गाइस. ओके, when we look at the American Revolution or the American War of Independence, it was a political and the ideological movement. क्या था ये? It was a political and the ideological movement. And we will see यहां पे देयर वेर अराउंड 13 कॉलोनीज. कितनी कॉलोनीज थी? 13 colonies who fought against the Britishers, and then finally they won this war of independence against the Britishers, and the nation so called as United States of America was established. Okay, so how many colonies were there? There were 13 colonies. Now when we look at the America, ठीक है, it was the Christopher Columbus. कौन थे? It was the Christopher Columbus. 1492 he had discovered the America. And we see that यहाँ पे रेड नेटिव इंडियंस की पॉपुलेशन हुआ करती थी, एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वी विल सी इट इज गोइंग टू बी द क्वीन एलिजाबेथ अराउंड 600 AD के आसपास. बहुत सारी जो कंपनीज थी दे वेर सेंट टू द अमेरिका फॉर एस्टैब्लिशमेंट. एंड व्हाट वी आर विटनेसिंग, जब मैं यहाँ पे अमेरिका की बात कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, यहाँ पे सबसे फर्स्ट जो कॉलोनी एस्टैब्लिश की गई थी दैट वाज इन 1607, दैट वाज वर्जीनिया. एंड टिल 1632 AD यहाँ पे 13 कॉलोनीज का एस्टैब्लिशमेंट हुआ था. 1607 द फर्स्ट कॉलोनी वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड. टिल 1632 13 colonies were established. Over the period of time, these Americans, although if we see ये जो settlers थे यहाँ पे और the colonists जो थे यहाँ पे अमेरिका में, they were the European people only. ऐसा नहीं था कि that they were the local or the native population. Okay, they were the European only, and mostly they came from Britain. These people had fled from the Britain and the Europe, okay, because of the religious persecution, ठीक है, because of the more job opportunities, because of kind of liberty या फिर freedom के लिए these people had fled from Europe. So over the period of time, these people got settled in this North America, or so called the United States of America over the period of time. So what we will see, ये तो टोबैको, पोटैटो वगैरह ये सप्लाई किया करते थे ये किनको? यूरोप को या फिर ब्रिटेन को. And over the period of time, we will see these are going to be the people who will fight against the colonial might called as Britain. Okay, so this was the first anti-colonial struggle, and over the period of time, we will see there will be some reasons, be it political reasons, be it economic reasons, be it social reasons, okay, that led these people to fight against the Great Britain or the Britishers. And ultimately, we will see कि कैसे यहाँ पे यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका का इस्टेब्लिशमेंट होता है. सो वी हैव टू लुक एट दिस, एंड फाइनली वी विल सी द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन एज वेल, अमेरिकन वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस. Plus, we have to look at the role of George Washington as well, who became the first president of the United States of America. And over the period of time, 1861 to 65, it is going to be the great Abraham Lincoln, okay, who is going to lead America through the slavery issue. We have to look at that one as well. Okay, so first thing, when we look at the American War of Independence or American Revolution, okay, एक point करके लिखेंगे, एक point करके आपको समझना भी पड़ेगा. Write down American Revolution, American Revolution. Okay, you can go with the two dates, guys. You can go with the date of 1765 to 1783, okay, or you can go with the 1775 to 1783. Okay, write down American Revolution, write down the date first. 1765 to 1783. American Revolution. Write down it was an ideological and political revolution. It was an ideological and anyone? Political revolution. It was an ideological and political revolution. Okay, look here guys, can you see these colonies? These are the 13 colonies. That means ये जो ideological revolution था या ये political revolution था, this emerged in these 13 colonies against the Britishers. Okay, side में लिखो. It was an ideological and political revolution that emerged in 13 colonies हाँ हाँ, हिंदी में भी पढ़ा देंगे, कोई इशू नहीं है। दिस वॉज एन एनीवन, क्या था ये गाइस? पॉलिटिकल रेवोल्यूशन था, आइडियोलॉजिकल रेवोल्यूशन था। कहां पे एमर्ज हुआ था? इट एमर्ज्ड इन द एनीवन 13 colonies of America against the Britishers. Write down 13 colonies of America against the Britishers. Okay. Now you need to remember few things, guys. When we are looking at this one, this particular revolution, एक चीज आपको याद रखना है, in this American War of Independence or in this American revolutions, the Americans defeated the Britishers. Americans ने किनको हरा दिया था? Britishers को, and they established the United States of America. Write down, in this revolution, America defeated Britishers and established the United States of America. And established the United States of America. Okay. Now with this, when we are looking at this one, let's go to history first. थोड़ा सा background भी देख लेते हैं. Okay. So when we look at the America, guys, एक चीज आपको याद रखना है, जो अमेरिका था, it was discovered by the Christopher Columbus. किसने डिस्कवर किया था? Christopher Columbus. And when we look at this Virginia over here, 1607 में, this was the first colony that was established, Virginia. And over the period of time, 1632 आते आते, we will see there are going to be the 13 colonies which were on the east coast of the America. So kindly remember this. Heading दे दो पहले background. Background. Let's look at the background. Background. 1492 इवेंट्स के फॉर्म में ऐसे लिखना. अमेरिका वाज डिस्कवर्ड बाय क्रिस्टोफर कोलंबस. Okay, so with this, what we are seeing, guys, it was the Queen Elizabeth, एरो के फॉर्म में ऐसे ही लिखना, अराउंड 1600 AD. Okay, Queen Elizabeth, around 1600 AD. What she did was, guys, sent many companies to settle in America. To settle in America. Done? Is everyone getting it? This is kind of background. Okay. So with this, guys, when we are looking at this scenario, okay, what we are witnessing, एक और चीज हम देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे 1492 में अमेरिका का डिस्कवरी हुआ. क्वीन एलिजाबेथ 1600 AD से क्या कर रही है? बहुत सारी कंपनीज को क्या कह रही है? लोगों को कह रही है गो एंड सेटल इन अमेरिका. एंड फाइनली वी विल सी ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इट इज गोइंग टू बी द 1607 जब यहां पे पहली कॉलोनी एस्टैब्लिश होगी. And it is going to be the 1607 when the first colony such as Virginia will be established. Write down 1607 Virginia first colony. And till 1632 AD we are seeing establishment of 13 colonies. ओके 1632 आते आते 13 कॉलोनीज यहां पे इस्टेब्लिश हो गई है. ओके डन. नाउ लुक हियर, व्हेन वी आर लुकिंग एट दिस वन गाइस, एक और चीज है विच वी शुड रिमेंबर. जो अमेरिका था, अमेरिकन्स यूज टू एक्सपोर्ट टोबैको, पोटैटो, कॉटन एट्सट्रा टू द यूरोपियंस. ओके क्या क्या एक्सपोर्ट करते थे? टोबैको, पोटैटो या फिर कॉटन या एट्सट्रा. एंड वी नो दैट अमेरिका's लैंड वाज फर्टाइल. ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम जो वहां पे रेड नेटिव इंडियन पॉपुलेशन थी, उनका भी यहां पे डिसलोकेशन हो जाएगा. ओके एक और पॉइंट लिखो, एरो के फॉर्म में ही अमेरिकन्स transported tobacco, potato, cotton, etc. to Europe. Okay. Now one thing guys that you should remember, जब अब हम यहां पे अमेरिका का ये सिनेरियो देख रहे हैं, वी गेट टू नो दैट कि देयर वर दीज 13 कॉलोनीज. कितनी कॉलोनीज थी? 13 कॉलोनीज इन टोटल. So these 13 colonies, okay, in this we are seeing the settlement of Europeans who had fled from Europe, who were facing religious persecution. And over the period of time, जब मैं यहाँ पे 13 colonies देख रहा हूँ, ऐसा नहीं था कि यहाँ पे खाली ब्रिटेन का ही दबदबा था, that Britishers were in dominant या Britishers का जो population था, ठीक है, वो ज्यादा था. But finally we will see they varied in size, they were multicultural. These colonies varied in size, they were multicultural. Write down. In these colonies, we see the establishment of settlers or colonists. In these colonies, we see the establishment of colonists or settlers. In these colonies, we see the establishment of colonists or settlers who were facing persecution in Europe, who were facing persecution. होता ना, religious freedom was not there, equality was not there, who were facing religious persecution in Europe, जिनको यूरोप में प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही थी. who were facing religious persecution. PERSECUTION. Religious persecution in Europe. In Europe. In Europe. Look here. One more thing, guys. When we are looking at these colonies, remember that ऐसा नहीं था कि that इनका size same था. They were not having the same size. It's not like that कि they all were culturally similar. Okay, so they varied in size as well as they were multicultural. Write down one more point. These colonies varied in size and were multicultural. ये जो colonies थी, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे टाइप के कल्चर हमें देखने को मिलते हैं, प्लस साइज भी डिफरेंट था. ऐसा नहीं कि एक साइज था. They varied in size and were multicultural. These colonies varied in size and were multicultural. And were multicultural. राइटिंग में आई गेस थोड़ा सा अभी प्रॉब्लम है आप लोगों का, ठीक है, जिससे आप लिख रहे हो ना, तभी यू पीपल आर राइटिंग ना, ठीक है. यू हैव टू राइट इट लाइक दैट कि रिवीजन फट से हो जाए. ऐसा नहीं है कि दैट यू विल बी हैविंग एम्पल अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम एंड एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम फिर से आप रिवीजन करने बैठोगे. ओके लिखना वैसे है कि माइंड में ये रख लो कि एट द एंड You have to revise this in 1 hour, 1 day या before the examination. ठीक है, उस हिसाब से या उस बेसिस पे आपको माइंड में लेके रखना है. चलो मैं दिखाता हूँ वो at the end. Okay. Now when we have looked at this one guys, so I hope थोड़ा सा एक आइडिया मिल गया होगा कि this was an ideological and political revolution. Here we are seeing Americans had defeated the Britishers. Okay, actually it were the Britishers who were fighting against the British government. They were the Britishers who were fighting against the Britishers, because लोग किन के थे? लोग तो यूरोप के ही थे. They were Britishers only. So we will see American War of Independence or American Revolution will be different from the Indian War of Independence. India was fighting against the alien government. We were Indians and they were Europeans. But when we look at the America, it was the Britishers who were fighting against the British government. लोग किन के थे? They were Britishers. Now with this guys, we have got an idea. Let's go with this causes now, and then at the end I will come up with one more story. Okay, heading de do, reasons slash causes of the revolution. Reasons such as, या reasons लिखो slash causes of the revolution. Reasons slash causes of American Revolution. Reasons slash causes of the revolution. Guys, first thing, let's go with the social causes. Reasons slash causes of the American Revolution. American Revolution. Cool. Now, look here. When we look at the reasons and causes of the revolution, guys, the first thing, let's go with the social causes. Okay. The first thing, अगर मैं अब यहाँ पे पहला cause देखूं social में, it is going to be the detachment. क्या रहेगा? Detachment. अब आपके mind में आ रहा होगा, detachment how? Sir, what is this kind of detachment है क्या? Because we know that जो American colonies में settle हुए थे, they were Europeans, they were Britishers. But over the period of time, जब दूसरी तीसरी generation आ गई थी, when second or third generation had come out, and we get to know that these people, okay, had, वो कहते हैं ना कि कोई feeling ही नहीं था Britishers के प्रति. The second and the third generation, okay, they were not feeling kind of any attachment. They were not feeling any kind of attachment to the Britishers or the Great Britain. And over the period of time, they started asking for independence. The first social cause was detachment. Second thing, when we look at this one, stepmotherly treatment was given to the Americans. Stepmotherly treatment was given to the Americans. And what we are seeing, जो Britain था और जो England था at that point of time, they were developing themselves. Okay, वो खुद का development, खुद का भला चाहते थे at the cost of the Americans. So the stepmotherly, यहाँ होता है ना कि that वो वाला बच्चा जिसको प्यार ना किया जाए, ठीक है. And we will see over the period of time this angered the Americans. पहला detachment. Second one, stepmotherly treatment was given to the Americans. Third, guys, it was the diversified society. When we look at the United States of America, even today, जितने भी लोग अगर मैं देखूं, most of the population of United States of America will comprise of the immigrants, जो बाहर से आए हैं. Whenever they will find कि कोई बंदा talented है, he is genius, she is genius, ठीक है, he is having great amount of wealth, they will welcome you with open arms. आइए भाई साहब, scholarship, ठीक है, आपके एंड पे ये दे देंगे. बिकॉज दे नो दैट कि दैट अमेरिका में अगर जीनियस लोग आएंगे ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, अमेरिका विल प्रॉस्पर. So similarly, we will see when we are looking at the America or the United States of America, it was a diversified society. That means Britain did not dominate solely. This society, the people who were living in 13 colonies, okay, उनका जो culture था that varied. Okay, उनका जो religion था that varied. उनका जो way of living था that varied. Okay, so these were the social causes. Write down first one, detachment. Because we got to know that The American colonies, these 13 colonies were established by the Britain or the Europeans only. But over the period of time, these people, second or third generation, did not felt any kind of attachment. होता है ना, दूसरी तीसरी जनरेशन आती है जैसे कि जैसे अगर हम भी देखिए दादाजी का दादाजी, वी हैव नो आइडिया कि कौन था. मैक्स टू मैक्स इट कैन गो अप टू द ग्रैंडफादर. आफ्टर दैट यू विल सी जब तीसरी चौथी जनरेशन आती है, दे स्टार्टेड टेलिंग यू वी डोंट नो ब्रिटिशर्स, वी आर अमेरिकन्स. ओके, हमारा ब्रिटिशर्स से क्या लेना देना. ओके, वी डोंट नो ब्रिटिशर्स, ओके, वी आर अमेरिकन्स. Write down over here in this detachment. The second and third generation, the second and third generation, जो दूसरी और तीसरी जनरेशन थी of Americans, had no feelings of attachment with the Britain or the Europe. Second and third generation of Americans had no feelings of attachment with the Europe or Britain. This was the first social reason or social cause for the rise of Americans against the Britishers. Second one, guys, when we are looking at this one, let's go with the second cause. And at that point of time, I will go with the anyone. It is going to be the stepmotherly treatment. The Americans जो थे, होता है ना, they were not treated with open arms, warm welcome नहीं हो रहा था. Right on. Second one, stepmotherly treatment to Americans. Stepmotherly treatment. Americans. Third one, diversified society. That means Britain did not dominate solely. Diversified society. In this, please write down, Britain did not dominate. The Britain did not dominate solely. The Britain did not dominate solely. These colonies comprised of multi-ethnicities. ठीक है, डाइवर्सिफाइड सोसाइटी था. यहां पे वी आर सिंग जो ब्रिटेन है, ब्रिटेन डोमिनेट नहीं कर रहा था सोलली, एंड वी आर सीइंग यहां पे मल्टी एथनिसिटी थी. बहुत सारे लोगों का अगर मैं देखूं डिफरेंट रेशियल ग्रुप था. ठीक है, सो ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वी विल सी ये भी काइंड ऑफ एक फैक्टर था दैट लेड टू द राइज ऑफ अमेरिकन्स अगेंस्ट द ब्रिटिशर्स. ओके, ब्रिटेन का लिखो यहां पे. हाँ, these colonies were having multi ethnicities. मल्टी एथनिसिटीज, जैसे बहुत सारे रेसेस होते हैं. सोलली, SOLELY. हाँ हाँ, the colonies comprised of multi ethnicities. The colony comprised of multi ethnicities. Okay, they were multicultural. ऐसा नहीं था कि that same culture था, एक ही culture था. So over the period of time, this backfired against the Britishers. Now, guys, these were the social causes that led to the rise of, yes, Americans against the Britishers. That means when we look at this one, first it was detachment, second stepmotherly treatment, and third one, guys, it is going to be the, yes, diversified society. Now let's look at the political causes or the political pains. Heading दे दो, political causes for the American Revolution. Okay, look here guys. We are looking at the American Revolution. Social causes हो गया है. Let's look at the political causes now. In the political cause, the first one that I would like to tell you, it is going to be the British interventionism. Because these Americans, they had fled from the Europe. ये लोग यूरोप से आए थे. इनको लगा था that we will be getting religious freedom. We will be getting liberty, equality, freedom to do whatever we want. But over the period of time, Britishers यहाँ पे भी आ रहे हैं, ठीक है, and they are deciding कि आपको क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है. So that means political cause में पहला first आएगा British interventionism and that much too much interference of Britishers पहला. Second one guys, it is going to be the gentleman's resolution. क्या रहेगा? Gentleman's resolution. We are seeing जो ब्रिटिशर्स का पार्लियामेंट है उसमें अमेरिकन्स का पार्टिसिपेशन है ही नहीं. जब अमेरिकन्स का कोई रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है ही नहीं तो उनके लिए डिसीजंस, who will be making decisions for them? It is going to be the Britishers and they will come up with this slogan, no taxation without representation. So second one, it was the gentleman's resolution. Third, it is going to be the 7 Years' War, which was fought in Europe, and we will see in that war, Britishers ने भी participate किया था. And British और French की दुश्मनी तो पहले से ही थी, काफी समय से. And we will see कि how this war led to the economic distress in the Britishers, और Britishers ने taxes बढ़ाए थे अमेरिका में. And that backfired. So let's look at the political causes. First thing, it is going to be the British interventionism. That means बहुत सारा ब्रिटिशर्स अब क्या कर रहे हैं, इंटरफेयर कर रहे हैं इन द डेली लाइव्स और इन द पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ द अमेरिकन्स. फर्स्ट पॉइंट लिखो पॉलिटिकल पेन्स में, ब्रिटिश इंटरवेंशनिज्म. साइड में प्लीज राइट डाउन, टू मच, बहुत सारा ब्रिटिशर्स क्या कर रहे हैं, इंटरफेयर कर रहे हैं. टू मच इंटरफेरेंस ऑफ ब्रिटिशर्स in the internal matters of Americans. Political. Okay. Second one, if I see, it is going to be the gentleman's resolution. And we see that there was no representation of Americans in the British Parliament. क्या था? No representation of whom, guys? No representation of Americans in the British Parliament. Or Americans came with the slogan of no taxation without representation. कि भाई साहब जब हमारा representation है ही नहीं, हम क्यों टैक्स थे? Okay? So kindly remember this gentleman's resolution. यहाँ पे लिख सकते हो, no representation of Americans in British Parliament. No representation of Americans in British Parliament. They came with the famous slogan. What was that, guys? Very good. Slogan था no taxation. And you will see our INC is going to use this slogan. Moderates. No taxation without representation. Okay, no taxation without representation. So Americans demanded for a representation. Okay. Now guys, not just that, वी आर सीइंग यूरोप में एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम एक 7 year वॉर भी रहेगा. What it is going to be the 7 year war, and we will see because of this 7 year war. Okay, Britishers, they had participated in this 7 year war, and we will see Britishers will be fighting against the French in this 7 year war. So Britishers की जो इकोनॉमी अब ड्रेन हो रही थी, किसी भी देश को उठा के देख लो, जो कोई भी युद्ध पे जाता है, उनका जो इकोनॉमी है वो ड्रेन हो जाता है ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. चाइना अभी स्ट्रांग है बिकॉज चाइना डज नॉट फाइट विद एनी अदर नेशन. यूएसए पावरफुल क्योंकि उनकी इंडस्ट्री भी उसी बेसिस पे चल रही है. ओके, सो एनी नेशन in the history which we have seen, it was the world wars, World War First and the World War Second, जिसने ब्रिटेन को काफी वीक कर दिया, and that led to the rise of the United States of America. After these world wars, World War First and World War Second, the USA emerged as the world power or the world superpower. So kindly remember this, guys. Third reason, let's go with the 7 years war. That was also the political cause. 7 years war. Okay, here you can write down Britishers, Britain versus France, and we will see they will be fighting against each other. Even in India, it is going to be the famous Third Carnatic War. Okay, ये 7 year war जो था, it was from 1756 to 1763. It will end with the Treaty of Paris. Okay, and finally, when we are looking at this 7 years war, guys, okay, Britishers started imposing heavy taxes on Americans. Okay, because they need to finance these wars, these battles. Okay, and finally Americans rebelled against that. Point right down. Britishers started imposing heavy taxes. Britishers started imposing heavy taxes. Taxes किन पे लगा रहे हैं guys? Very good, on Americans. Britishers started imposing heavy taxes on Americans in the form of stamp duty and sugar tax. यहां पे एक तो stamp duty लगा दी, sugar tax increase किया in the form of stamp duty, sugar tax, etc. हाँ वो भी. Okay, now with this what we are seeing, I thought you are asking for tea. Okay, so अब यहां पे एक और पॉइंट लिखो, one more. Okay, this enraged Americans. This enraged, ENRAGED होता ना, एंग्री करना, गुस्सा करना, गुस्सा दिलाना. This enraged Americans. Done? Okay. हाँ, ये इसके लिए भी बहुत सारी स्टोरी थी. ये डायनास्टीज का वॉर था. फर्स्ट ऑस्ट्रियन वॉर ऑफ सक्सेशन वाज देयर 1740. ठीक है, फिर ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम 7 years वॉर रहेगा. ये डायनास्टीज के बीच में था, ये यूरोप में था, एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम डिफरेंट लोग आए, दो ब्लॉक्स बन गए, और फ्रेंच और ब्रिटिशर्स का पहले से ही प्रॉब्लम था. ठीक है, उसका एक पुराना स्टोरी है. दिस वर सम डायनास्टीज ओवर देयर. नाउ गाइस लुक हियर, व्हेन वी आर लुकिंग एट द पॉलिटिकल पेन्स, यहां देखो, जब मैं पॉलिटिकल पेन की बात कर रहा हूं. Now let's look at the economic causes. Heading दे दो, economic causes, economic pains or economic causes. Economic pains or economic causes. The first thing, guys, when we look at the economic causes that led to the rise of Americans against the Britishers, first thing it is going to be the heavy taxation. क्या रहेगा? Heavy taxation. Second, एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ऑफ कॉलोनीज कि खाली बस आप रॉ मटेरियल दे दो, रॉ मटेरियल दे दो, रॉ मटेरियल दे दो. Third one, if I see, it is going to be some land policy such as Quebec Act. Okay, and we have to look at that. Right on. First one, heavy taxation. Heavy taxation by Britishers. Second, if I see, it is going to be the exploitation of colonies. Colonies को exploit किया जा रहा था. Exploitation of colonies. Colonies को guys यहाँ पे कौन exploit कर रहा था? Anyone? It is going to be the Britishers. How? How? Very good. Yes. Raw material. एक तो raw material. Anyone else? साथ साथ में they are going to go with the one-way free trade. They are going to go with the one-way free trade. Anyone आप में से कोई कहेगा? What do you understand by the one-way free trade? हाँ, you're very close. What do you understand with the one-way free trade? हाँ, very good. हाँ, for example, हाँ, very good. Yes. हाँ. Okay. For example, यहाँ पे आराम से सुनो. Okay. For example, if we look at our country India, Britishers ने भी same किया था one way free trade. For example, Britishers से यहाँ पे कोई good आ रहा है तो उस पे कोई import duty नहीं लगाई जा रही है. That means हमारी कंट्री में वो आराम से आ रहा है. Products are coming into our country और वो अच्छे सस्ते दाम पे बिक रहे हैं. On the other hand, when we will be sending some products to the Europe, एक तो इस पे एक्सपोर्ट ड्यूटी भी लगाई जा रही है, साथ साथ में वहां पे टैरिफ्स रखे गए हैं ताकि जो यहाँ पे यूरोप में ये प्रोडक्ट्स आ रहे हैं उनका दाम जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा हो. तो दैट मींस वन वे फ्री ट्रेड. सिमिलरली अमेरिका के साथ भी यही हो रहा है. जो गुड्स आ रहे हैं अमेरिका से, ठीक है, उन पे बहुत ज्यादा टैक्सेस लगाए जा रहे हैं. एंड द गुड्स हु वर बीइंग डंप्ड इनटू द अमेरिका फ्रॉम द ब्रिटिश, उन पे कोई इंपोर्ट ड्यूटी, कोई टैक्स या कोई टैरिफ नहीं था. दैट मींस वन वे फ्री ट्रेड. Over the period of time, it is going to lead to the ruin of local industries जो कि अमेरिका में हुआ करती थी. So one way free trade बहुत ही problematic या फिर devastating हो सकता है एक country के लिए. Now with this, when we are looking at the one way free trade, एक point और लिखो यहाँ पे guys. One more. The colonies were made supplier of, the colonies were made supplier of raw materials, and the markets of, the colonies were made supplier of raw material and the markets for the consumption of, markets for the consumption of finished goods. Okay. One more thing guys, when we are looking at the economic causes, एक और cause है जो आपको जानना बहुत ही जरूरी है. It is going to be the land policies. ब्रिटेन ने क्या काम किया था? They had come up with an act. That act was called as Quebec Act. Act का क्या नाम था? Quebec Act 1774. As per that act, without the permission of the British government, अगर British government का permission नहीं है, कोई भी outsider जो है, they cannot trade with the American colonies or they cannot settle in America. Okay? एक और लिखो economic cause में ही land policies. लैंड पॉलिसीज लिखो. लैंड पॉलिसीज एग्जाम्पल क्यूबेक एक्ट 1774 AD. So guys, as per this act, without the permission of the British government, कोई भी बंदा, कोई भी व्यक्ति, they cannot trade or settle in these colonies without British what without British permission? Write down, as per this act, outsiders cannot settle. As per this act, as per this act, as per this act, outsiders cannot trade or settle with these colonies without the permission of British government. Okay, now guys, कोई भी revolution उठा के देख लो ना, you will see the role of intellectuals. इनका रोल देखेंगे आप intellectuals का. Modern day, if I see, you will see the role of YouTubers or the influencers. Earlier we used to see जिसका भी रोल मीडिया के साथ होता है ना, ठीक है, be it with the newspaper, be it with some channel, ठीक है, over the period of time you will see वहां से ही लीडर उभर के आते हैं, बिकॉज पब्लिक में उनका ही व्यू या फिर ओपिनियन जाता है, एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम उनका वो एक इमेज भी बन जाता है. सो इन दिस रेवोल्यूशन एज वेल वी आर सीइंग द रोल ऑफ द इंटेलेक्चुअल्स. किनका रोल? इंटेलेक्चुअल्स का. हेडिंग दे दो वन मोर, द फोर्थ कॉज, रोल प्लेड बाय इंटेलेक्चुअल्स. ठीक है. एंड गाइस, व्हेन वी लुक एट द रोल प्लेड बाय द इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, these helped in the awareness of the masses. masses को aware किन्होंने किया? intellectuals ने, कि that Britishers are exploiting us. ठीक है, Britishers are ruining our industries, they are taking our freedom, okay, they are exploiting us. हमारा representation है ही नहीं, taxes बढ़ा रहे हैं, वो लड़ रहे हैं और हम पैसे पे कर रहे हैं. And we are seeing these intellectuals helped in the awareness of masses. And guys, we get to know that there were three important individuals who played a significant role when it comes to the American Revolution. So तीन individuals थे जिनका जो रोल था वो बहुत ही बड़ा था इसमें, American Revolution में. First one, guys, it is going to be the Thomas Paine. Second, it is going to be the Benjamin Franklin. And the third one, it is going to be the Henry Patrick. Okay, किनका रोल है guys? First, Thomas Paine. Second, it is going to be the Benjamin Franklin. और जो तीसरा रहेगा, it is going to be the Henry Patrick. So kindly remember this. Okay, so guys, when we look at the Thomas Paine, ठीक है, इनका ना pamphlet था Common Sense. He advocated for the independence of Americans. He advocated for the independence of Americans. What was the name of his pamphlet? Anyone? Anyone? Common Sense. क्या था? Common Sense. He advocated for the independence of Americans. Side में लिख सकते हो. He advocated for the independence of Americans. Okay. Apart from that, guys, when we look at the Benjamin Franklin, इन्होंने सोसाइटीज के थ्रू मासेस को अवेयर किया. ओके, सोसाइटीज के थ्रू he awared masses through with the help of societies. होती है ना, वॉलंटरीज, बहुत सारी एसोसिएशंस होती है, उनका हेल्प लिया. सो ही अवेयर्ड masses through societies. हेनरी पैट्रिक का एक फेमस स्लोगन था. ओके, इन्होंने ये कहा था, गिव मी डेथ और इंडिपेंडेंस. किनका? हेनरी पैट्रिक का. या तो मुझे मौत दो, ठीक है, या तो व्हाट, या तो मुझे डेथ दो, या तो क्या दो गाइस, इंडिपेंडेंस। ओके, आजादी किन्होंने मांगी थी? इट वाज दिस हेनरी पैट, you write down, okay, Henry Patrick famous slogan, what was his slogan guys? Give me death or independence. Okay, write down, his famous slogan was, so obviously when these kind of people come into your society at that point of time, जब ऐसे भाषण दे रहे हैं, या तो आजादी दो या तो मृत्यु दो, so at that point of time obviously they are going to aware masses, या फिर encourage कर रहे थे masses को, give me death or independence. Now apart from that, एक और point guys, when we are looking at this one, एक चीज है, देयर वॉज एन इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट इन द अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन। क्या था? एक इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट था इन द अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन, ओके, दैट वॉज द बोस्टन टी पार्टी। क्या था वो? बोस्टन टी पार्टी। वी सी दैट 1776 में कैसे अमेरिका डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस में एक वो कर दिया गया 26 ऑफ जुलाई। 1783 में फिर वो ट्रीटी हो जाती है, पीस ट्रीटी, ट्रीटी ऑफ पेरिस, जब ब्रिटिश ने फिर रिकॉग्नाइज किया था द इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ अमेरिका। साइड में लिख लो एक एक्स्ट्रा ज्ञान के तौर पे, ओके, इवेंट्स इन अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन। फॉर द पीपल हु विल बी हैविंग द हिस्ट्री एज एन ऑप्शनल, उनके लिए ये इंपॉर्टेंट है। ठीक है, नाउ गाइस लुक हियर, वी आर सीइंग एक इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट है यहां पे, बोस्टन टी पार्टी। सेवनटीन 1773 बोस्टन टी पार्टी। ओके, लुक हियर, व्हाट वी आर सीइंग गाइस, जब हम यहां पे अमेरिका एंड ब्रिटिशर्स का सिनेरियो देख रहे हैं, वी गेट टू नो दैट सपोज दिस इज द अमेरिका ओवर हियर, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका, एंड दिस इज द यूरोप, एंड दिस इज द ब्रिटेन ओवर देयर। अमेरिकन जो ट्रेडर्स थे यहां पे, दे यूज टू गेट दिस स्मग्ल्ड टी, होता है ना, आपने इलीगली कहीं से चाय पत्ती ला दी और वो अमेरिका में वो बेच रहे थे। ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ब्रिटिशर्स ने ये चाहा कि भाई साहब ये तो स्मग्ल्ड टी ला रहे हैं जो काफी सस्ते में आ रही है, उस पर तो कोई टैक्स वैक्स नहीं लग रहा है, व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू, अब हम ब्रिटिशर्स कह रहे हैं कि दैट हम अपनी जो चाय है, ओके, वी वुड सेल इट इन अमेरिका विदाउट गिविंग एनी टैक्स। हम बिना टैक्स के चाय को क्या करेंगे, अमेरिका में बेचेंगे, ताकि इनके साथ जो कंपटीशन है वो कम हो जाए, बिकॉज दीज पीपल जो अमेरिकन ट्रेडर्स थे, दे यूज्ड टू गेट दिस स्मग्ल्ड टी, ओके, फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड रीजन्स। एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, अब जब यहां पे अब ये चाय कोई अब फ्रीली बेचेंगे, सो वी विल सी जब ब्रिटिशर्स की अब इंपोर्टेड टी यहां पे आएगी, वो तो काफी सस्ते दाम पे बिकेगी, एंड दैट काइंड ऑफ फ्यूल्ड दीज अमेरिकन ट्रेडर्स। उसमें से अब जो मुख्य रोल प्ले कर रहा है, द मेन लीडर वाज सैमुअल एडम्स। व्हाट ही डिड वाज, उन्होंने एक बोस्टन करके यहां पे एक पोर्ट रहेगा, उनकी एक पार्टी भी थी, और ये कहा गया था कि दैट ड्रिंकिंग अमेरिकन टी वाज काइंड ऑफ अनपैट्रियोटिक, एंड बोस्टन टी इट वाज अ काइंड ऑफ पार्टी एज वेल, दिस वाज अ पॉलिटिकल एसोसिएशन। एंड जैसे ही अब बोस्टन टी पे टी बैग्स आए थे, विद दैट गाय लीडिंग फ्रॉम द फ्रंट, इन्होंने ये सारी की जो चाय पत्तियां हैं, ये जो बैग्स है, वो यहाँ पे अटलांटिक ओशन में डुबा दी। और ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इस इवेंट को हम बोस्टन टी पार्टी के नाम से जानते हैं। एक एक पॉइंट करके लिखो। राइट डाउन फर्स्ट पॉइंट, Britain companies wanted to sell tea in America without taxes. Britain companies wanted to sell tea in America without taxes. Okay. Now guys, अब जब ब्रिटेन यहां पे अपनी जो चाय बेचना चाह रहा है विदाउट टैक्सेस, जो इंपोर्टेड टी होगा that will be cheaper. ये लिखो, this made imported tea cheaper. हाँ, अमेरिकन्स को तो काइंड ऑफ बेनिफिट कर रहा है, बट जो स्मगलर्स थे वहां पे, जो ट्रेडर्स थे वहां पे, उनके लिए बेनिफिट नहीं, क्योंकि अब उनका एक कंपटीशन यहाँ पे बढ़ गया था. दे यूज्ड टू गेट द स्मग्ल्ड टी, उस पर भी टैक्स नहीं लग रहा था. सो ओवर द पीरियड टाइम उनके इंटरेस्ट के अगेंस्ट जा रहा था. और उन्होंने ये कहा था ना कि दैट ड्रिंकिंग टी इज काइंड ऑफ दिस अनपेट्रियोटिक. ठीक है. नाउ यू राइट डाउन, दिस मेड इंपोर्टेड टी चीपर. दिस मेड imported tea cheaper. ओके. अब जब आपने यहां पे लिख ही लिया है, राइट डाउन रोल ऑफ सैमुअल एडम्स. रोल ऑफ सैमुअल एडम्स. Okay, write down. He led the formation of Boston Tea Party. इनके द्वारा कौन सी पार्टी का एस्टैब्लिशमेंट हुआ? He led the establishment of Boston Tea Party. Okay. One more thing that you need to remember, arrow के फॉर्म में लिखो, he led the group of people with him. He led the group of people with him. He led the group of people with him. And guys, even if you are looking at the screen, इन लोगों ने क्या काम किया? जैसे ही ये ब्रिटिश शिप आ रहा था, which was carrying these tea bags were thrown into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, ये लिखो. He led the group of people, and then these people threw the tea bags, and then these people threw the tea bags into the Atlantic Ocean. Into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Now guys, what we are seeing, what we are witnessing, अब जब important event में ये भी आ रहा है, we are seeing अब यहाँ पे एक full blown war जो है उसकी शुरुआत हो गई है, the war of independence. And during this war of independence, these Americans were held by the French people. The Americans were held by the French people, or the America was held by the France. And we are seeing on 4th of July 1776, America declared or celebrated its Independence Day. Okay, write down this one. War of Independence, ऐसे एरो के फॉर्म में, इवेंट के फॉर्म में लिखो, War of Independence. In this, please write down, America was held by France against Britishers. And you will see, guys, it is going to be the Louis XVI. Okay, when France was at the verge of the bankruptcy, वो भाई साहब अमेरिका की हेल्प कर रहा है. वो भी एक रीजन रहेगा when he was sponsoring wars. That will be one of the reasons for the French Revolution. Okay, जो कि फ्रांस में आएगा, और फ्रांस में ही उभर के आएगा द नेपोलियन बोनापार्ट. ओके, एक काम कर लेना, कल शायद ऑफ है ना. ओके, नेपोलियन बोनापार्ट की एक मूवी आई थी. ओके, वो बहुत ही अच्छी है. द बैटल ऑफ टूलॉन, या जितने भी उन्होंने बैटल लड़े थे, कॉन्टिनेंटल सिस्टम, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एज फार एज योर हिस्ट्री इज कंसिडर्ड. ओके, सो उनकी एक मूवी भी आई थी उन पे. अमेरिका वॉज हेल्ड बाय फ्रांस. सेकेंड, राइट डाउन 4th of July इवेंट के फॉर्म में, शायद आई गेस द मूवी नेम इज एम्परर समथिंग. 4th of July 1776, America declared its independence. 4th of July 1776. Okay, and guys, it is going to be the Morocco, जो कि एक अफ्रीकन कंट्री है, दैट वाज द फर्स्ट कंट्री टू रिकॉग्नाइज द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका. तो तब से अब तक अगर हम देखिए मोरक्को एंड अमेरिका के रिलेशंस अच्छे हैं. ओके, मोरक्को वाज द फर्स्ट टू डू दैट. नाउ अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट गाइस 1783 में एक ट्रीटी हो जाती है, बिकॉज अब तो बैटल्स लड़ेंगे एंड ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वी विल सी ब्रिटिशर्स जो है वो हार जाते हैं अमेरिकन से. एंड उसके बहुत सारे रीजंस थे, बिकॉज ऑफ द रोल ऑफ द जॉर्ज वॉशिंगटन, ठीक है, जो कमांडर इन चीफ ऑफ आर्मी थे. ओके, ही मतलब उनका जो टैक्टिक्स था, मिलिट्री स्ट्रेटजी था, वो कमाल का था, जॉर्ज वॉशिंगटन. एंड लेटर इट इज गोइंग टू बी द जॉर्ज वॉशिंगटन हु इज गोइंग टू बिकम द फर्स्ट प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ अमेरिका एज वेल. अभी भी कैपिटल है वॉशिंगटन डीसी, है ना. हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट दैट गाइस? ओके, नाउ इवेंट के फॉर्म में एक और लिखो यहाँ पे, राइट डाउन. हाँ, टू अमेरिका, ठीक है. वो एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन, एक्स्ट्रा ज्ञान, वो हमारे काम का नहीं यहाँ पे. दैट कम्स टू द व्हेन इट कम्स टू द इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस. ओके, अब यहाँ पे पॉइंट है, एक और लिखो एरो के फॉर्म में. 1783 1783 1783, okay, Treaty of Paris. And guys, with this Treaty of Paris, अमेरिका जो था, हाँ, वो 1763 वाला, ये 1783 वाला, जहां पे ट्रीटी होती है वहीं पे ही मोस्टली इसका नाम रखा जाता है. 1783, राइट डाउन. अमेरिका वाज रिकॉग्नाइज्ड अमेरिका और द यूएसए was recognized as the independent and sovereign state. The USA was recognized as the independent and the sovereign state by the Britishers. Sovereign होता है ना कि that they will be taking decisions on its own now. Okay? हाँ. Yeah, for the Britishers, now we are seeing America emerge as a sovereign state. They say India is a sovereign state. Is someone helping or guiding us? No, we can take decisions on our own. हम खुद अब decisions ले सकते हैं. Okay. Now, when we have looked at this one, guys, so if they ask you tomorrow what were the causes of the American Revolution, yeah, first, if they ask you tomorrow, what do you understand by the American Revolution? American Revolution था क्या? अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन था क्या? आप कहेंगे आइडियोलॉजिकल पॉलिटिकल मूवमेंट था, ठीक है. दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द अमेरिकन वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस. ओके, वेयर वी आर सीइंग द ब्रिटिशर्स वेर डिफीटेड. हो गया आपका इंट्रोडक्शन. एंड इन दैट यू कैन गो विद दिस that there were 13 colonies on the east coast of this America, and over the period of time they fought against Britishers. Now we can go with the causes, political. First you can go with the social. Social में detachment, diversified society, stepmotherly treatment. Political में 7 years war was there, no representation in pol, है ना. Okay, very good. Okay, and then you can go with the economic, heavy taxation was there, and role of intellectuals. These are the events. Now go with the impact of American Revolution. Highlight करके heading दे दो, impact of American Revolution. Do we have time today? क्या आज इतना ही करे फिर? हाँ, चलो, we can take it on Monday as well, कोई इशू नहीं है, because we have to deal with the American Civil War as well, तो connect हो जाएगा. Even we have to look at the impact of American Revolution on India as well. Okay, चलो, all the best, and you can leave for the day now. Okay, okay, Amrit, हाँ. बायलिंगुअल ही जाएंगे, ठीक है, कोई इशू नहीं है। अच्छा आज समझ आया। तो गुड 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 इवनिंग गाइस, गुड इवनिंग, गुड इवनिंग, गुड इवनिंग। हिंदी मैं पढ़ा दो ना सर जी, चलो हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों ही कर देते हैं कोई इशू नहीं है।